Okay, a very good morning to everyone watching in today. Thank you so much for making this your channel this Sunday morning, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are privileged to start a new month of November with a very special discussion around fertility. Did you know that 0.8 of men in Uganda are facing primary infertility, and about 3.8% of men actually face secondary infertility? In Uganda alone, close to 35% of all the population of men are the cause of infertility in couples. In other words, 35% of infertility in couples is believed to be due to men-related causes. And unfortunately, majority of the men actually don't believe this. So many times when there are infertilities in couples or families, the blame is always pushed to women. But research shows that close to 35% of all the causes in Uganda are related to male-related issues or causes. 14% of all men in Uganda still cannot conceive naturally. Globally, close to 55 million men cannot conceive naturally. Now, as we have these discussions around fertility, pregnancy, and having children, we have to take it in good faith, and we have to pay attention to friends of ours, the couples, men and women out there that have failed to have children naturally or that have fertility issues. Children are a gift from God. And trust me, every one of us would love to bear the happiness and the joy of having these gifts from God. But what happens when this hope delays? What happens when you cannot have children naturally? What happens when you fail to conceive naturally? To join us for this discussion today, we are joined by a renowned professional expert around the issues of fertility, Mr. Paul Kibenge, a clinical embryologist from Uganda, particularly from Uganda's first fertility clinic that has been around for more than 25 years, formerly called Bukoto Fertility Center, now called Women Hospital Bukoto, with more than 10 branches in the country, and they have been offering the services around fertility for more than 25 years. He's a landman, almost now turning into a lecturer or teaching support staff that want to work around fertility-related services on how to do this job ethically, but also well, because there could be also so many other related issues. Let's welcome Dr. Paul. Yes, Dr. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, viewers and listeners. I'm glad to be here.
We are also glad to have you around. Mr. Paul.
Hello.
Yes. Can you briefly tell us who you are, what you do, and what Women's Hospital in Bukoto actually does?
Okay. Thank you very much and for the kind introduction. My name is Dr. Paul Kibenge, a trained medical doctor.
Yes, like I said, in Uganda alone, close to 14% of all the men you see are having infertility issues, and unfortunately, on so many occasions, we always push the blame to the ladies. The causes are many. Um, the causes are many. Like the doctor is going to explain, some are hormones, related to hormones within our bodies. Some are related to what we eat. Some are related to what we do. Some are related to age. Some are related to the nature of job or work that we do. But all in all, there is hope at the end of the day. Doctor, we are happy to have you back. Again, my question was, can you tell
Yes.
us again who you are, what you do, and
Yes.
exactly what Women Hospital in Ibukoto does about fertility before we go in for the discussion of the day?
Okay. Yes. Name's Dr. Paul Kibenge. I work with Women Hospital International and Fertility Center as a fertility doctor, and I'm the academic registrar of Salis International School of Fertility Medicine, the first one in East Africa, which is going to train health workers into this new field of fertility. Yes, we are aware that there are many growing number of facilities that are doing fertility medicine, but the catchphrase is that many of the people who are doing this work are not trained professionally to do fertility medicine. Yes, so that is why this school has been started. We are in an advanced stage of setting up the school. I trained as a pharmacy technician, medical doctor, health service manager, and now I'm a clinical embryologist. Thank you very much.
Doctor, let's start there. So, what does a clinical embryologist do?
Embryo. Yes.
What does a clinical embryologist do in this fertility setting?
Yes. Embryology per se, it is that time when an embryo is formed that develops into the babies that are produced. So, as a clinical embryologist, you are trained to know knowledge right from the time the fertilization takes place. Yeah, you know how the garments are brought up. They come into existence. The garments I'm talking about, the sperm and the egg. So until these two unite in the fertilization process, we will not have, we will not be where we are. We will not be humans. Okay? Yeah. After fertilization, that is the time you are going to have a zygote formed. Yeah? And then immediately after the zygote, the embryo takes place. The embryology takes growing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days until it gets implanted into the uterus. And then we keep on waiting for the baby. So my area of specialty is around this process because we found it's the most important area of fertilization. Yeah, just to be very specific, it is different from gynecology, because many people, whenever I tell them that I'm an embryologist, they say, oh, no, so you are a gyne. No, it is not gynecology. Even gynecologists come and we have them trained into targets fertilization. Thank you.
Okay, doctor, our topic of the day is when hope delays. Like I said, every family would
Yes.
love to have children naturally. But statistics are showing us that the number of men that are responsible for infertility in couples is rising, especially in Uganda, where they are saying that close to 35% of all infertility causes or issues in couples now is based on the men or is centered around the men. Let's have a discussion, doctor. Why is this discussion of infertility in men important today?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much. I believe that many people here are Africans or come from African culture,
Yes.
where we know that when people get married, man and woman in this case, you expect to have children. You know, I know when I talk about this, people in the Western world will say, no, there's a couple I know who is my neighbor and they have a marriage contract that have no bearing of children. Yeah. But in Africa, that is the expectation, or in the culture of the black race, if you could say that, people are expected to have children. Unfortunately, down this road, you find that the child doesn't come, 1 year down the road, 2 years, three, and even more, you know, a person fails to conceive. That is the woman. Huh? I'm saying she fails to conceive, but you are forgetting that she can also not conceive alone. There is a man that can make her conceive. So that is the picture we always forget when we talk about infertility. We have been for long pointing a finger to women. Say, yeah, in my local vernacular, we say, omukyala aganye okuzala. The woman has refused to conceive. Yet they don't point a finger and say, omwami alemereddwa okumuwa olubuto. Or the man has failed to make her conceive. So that part is not discussed. So that's where we are this morning, and we look at reasons why do men fail to make their wives pregnant. Okay, to start with, infertility is a condition, like we said, a woman fails to conceive, but a man also fails to make her pregnant after 1 year without using protection. Eh? Because you forget about the people who are using family planning per se. Yeah,
Yeah.
there has to be
So,
an existence or a duration of 1 year, and there has to be no protection. Yes.
so, doctor, you want to tell us that
Yes, sir.
if I've met my
Mm,
girl for 6 months
mm,
and we've had intercourse, maybe say, yeah, we meet
mm.
once a month, and yeah, for 6 months we fail to get
Yes.
pregnant. We don't qualify to say that there are infertility issues.
Mm. Pregnancy. No.
So it must be a
No.
period of
That is
1 year.
what we call delayed fertility. Yes.
So, doctor,
Of
let us
one
start
year.
there.
Yes. That is by WHO standards, by World Health
So,
Organization.
so what
Mm.
is the difference between delayed fertility and infertility?
Mm. Yeah, delayed fertility, like you have said, it does not make 1 year. And sometimes it can even be delayed for couples that are fertile. Yeah, but for different reasons. Yeah, you might be a long distance truck driver. You are driving from Michigan to Kansas to Chicago, and
Mm,
the time you come home,
mm,
probably that is a time that your girlfriend is not during the ovulation stage, okay,
mm,
where she
mm,
can conceive. Yeah,
mm.
then when you arrive, you stay for 3 weeks, you go back,
Yes.
or 2 weeks, yeah, without targeting that window of fertility. So that
Okay.
can be called as delayed. Yes,
Mm,
yeah, but it's not necessarily infertility. But I'm talking about people who are living together
mm,
for a year and not using any form of family planning,
mm.
and even their desire is to have a child and they fail to conceive. That is what we are terming as infertility. Yes.
Okay, doctor, as an expert,
Mm.
how common is this infertility issue
Mm.
in men? Yes, I've read the statistics here, but
Well,
mm,
mm,
according to your
mm.
experience, how common is this problem in men?
Yes. In Uganda, first start as couples.
Mm,
Yes, 1 in 6 couples in Uganda are struggling with
mm,
infertility. That is the
mm,
latest statistic we have. But
mm,
you gave a percentage of 35% of the causes coming from men, and 35% will definitely come from women. Okay,
okay,
that
okay,
makes it 70.
yeah,
Then give it 15% coming from
mm,
both, uh,
okay,
both men
okay,
and women. Okay,
mm,
and I'll save the last 15 into unknown. Okay, because we also
okay,
have what they call unknown infertility,
mm,
whereby at the end of the day, everything will be tested, everything will be tried, but still no conception occurs. So that's where we are. But we believe as scientists that by the time someone gets 85% of the causes, you
mm.
definitely know what the cause of the infertility is. Yes.
Okay, doctor, let us hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
What are the major
On the
causes
head.
of
Let's go.
infertility in men from your clinical standpoint?
Mm. In men.
Yes.
Yes. Men specifically, uh, we are having a problem of alcohol consumption. That is one.
Mm,
Okay. Alcohol can reduce your ability to have good viable sperms. Okay.
mm,
It can reduce your functionality. You know, if
mm,
you are really excessively drunk at that time of the copulation, definitely you're
mm,
not going to be able to sleep well with your spouse or with your wife, whatever it
mm,
is. So
mm,
it is a very big factor. But above all,
mm,
age is a factor in both men and women. Mm.
mm,
In women, you give it between 30 and 40 years in women. That's your fertility window. So give it 35. At 35 years, a woman has a 50% chance of conceiving. Okay?
mm,
I'm not
mm,
saying that above 40, a woman cannot conceive. We can
mm,
also look at that. But we give them between 30 and 40 years. In
mm,
men, closer to 50 and above.
mm,
And our problems are coming from both the sperms that are produced and also uh, the erection power, okay,
mm,
that a
mm,
man will have. Yeah. If you have watched yourself grow up very well, the
mm,
number of erections you used to have when you are a teenager, at puberty stage,
mm,
could not be the same as when you turn 30 and when you turn 40. So when the
mm,
ages go up, that one also becomes a problem. Then you have sexually transmitted diseases. Okay,
mm,
these ones will go down and affect the anatomical structures of the male
mm,
reproductive system.
mm,
Yeah, it's example of infection from microorganisms like chlamydia and gonorrhea. You know,
mm,
they will totally mess you up. Yeah, you could be suffering internally, but when you don't know what is happening. Okay,
mm,
use of tobacco products and drugs, you know,
mm,
stress is one of such a reason that people
mm,
will really become infertile.
mm,
Environmental toxins, you saw in
mm,
Uganda, people were living in Kitezi, others were being chased from Lubiji, but these are
mm,
dumping grounds, okay,
mm,
of toxic materials. Mm.
mm,
Yeah, people who work in factories, okay, and who
mm,
prepare chemicals and pesticides and lead, all those have an effect on fertility. And And then when you talk about the Western diet and lifestyle, we will talk about obesity. Being overweight, you know, definitely starts by affecting your performance. Okay. Then you have, yes, the gametes are produced as a response to hormones that are produced. We have what we call hypothalamo pituitary axis, okay, that produces enables our bodies to produce the hormones. Right from the hypothalamus, there's gonadotropin releasing hormone, which acts on the anterior pituitary gland, and which releases follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone that works on the gonads. Okay, that is going to work on the ovaries.
So, doctor, you were still explaining the other causes of infertility, and you were at the point of diet
Yes.
and obesity.
Diet and obesity, which is very important in the Western world because of obvious reasons. Then I told you about the hormonal causes of
Yes.
infertility. Anything that affects that hypothalamo pituitary axis can also cause infertility.
Yeah.
Yes, like thyroid disease, tumors that can affect the axis will also affect fertility. Then chronic disease conditions, diabetes mellitus, hypertension, cystic fibrosis, okay? All those are reasons that men can become infertile. We also have what we call varicose cells. Those are enlarged veins, okay? They will also cause infertility. Then chromosomal disorders, okay? Now, here is where I want everyone to listen very well. They are what we call heat radiation that you are going to affect your testicles. I know we are going into steam bath and hot tubs and saunas. We are wearing tight clothing. We are carrying what we see as laptops. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Anything that is going to cause heat around your testicles can cause infertility. Yes. You find the sperms were there originally, but finally you have killed them because when we were created, these tests are supposed to be hanging outside our body. Okay. That's why you realize that sometimes when it is cold, they become they extend
Yeah.
out, and when it is
Yeah.
hot, okay, yeah, they coil up. Okay. Yeah, or either way. So God was very smart when he was creating us. Our bodies are at a temperature of about 37 degrees, and these tests are supposed to live in a temperature of 35 outside the body. So anything that can affect them in terms of temperature can cause infertility in men. Then the scrotum, or if you have trauma, you are in Kampala, you're riding on border borders, you have an accident, God forbid, something affects your testicles, that one can cause you to be fertile. Low hormone levels.
Like I said, and like he has emphasized, the causes of infertility in men are so many. He has talked about alcohol. He has talked about these STDs, those are sexually transmitted diseases. He has talked about stress. He has talked about tobacco and smoking. He has talked about environmental toxins. Those are pesticides, insecticides that we use while we are working in our farms. He has talked about diet and especially obesity in men. Men who don't want to work out, men who just consume sugars, foods rich in sugars. And so he has talked about those. He has talked about hormonal causes. This is when your hormones as a man are affected, and here the causes are so many. Sometimes they are caused by diseases too. the organs that produce these hormones, like the thyroid, he has talked about chronic diseases, some of these diseases that affect the genitalia or the factory where these sperms are made. Remember, a man is born with their sperms. So some of these diseases actually target and affect the factory. No, remember where your sperms are produced. So sometimes some of these diseases actually target the factory where the sperms are made, and they also affect the fertility of men. He has also emphasized the issue of chromosomal disorders, especially caused by excessive heat. Now, when we are talking about excessive heat, men who go to saunas and hot bathtubs, the scrotum that keeps our eggs normally rotates outside the body, and there is a reason why God put it outside the body. And the reason is simple, because our testes need to operate in an environment that has reduced or lower temperatures. That's why they are hanging out. And even when the temperatures go outside, God has given them a mechanism to either coil up or react in a certain way. But now when you go to for these hot tubs or saunas, every now and then, you're literally affecting the factories that are supposed to produce your sperms. And this could be one reason as to why you're not able to produce viable sperms.